Blog Talk Radio.
It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. No, I'm not the problem. Man, that's on you, yeah. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's you. Lie like a rat, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you. And I would never hear. You've been flexing everywhere. Girl, look in the mirror. Man, you so dirty. Yeah, you look so dirty. You were never worthy. Lately, it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me, but baby, it's you. Lie like a rat, but take your stuff back, baby, it's you. Control the weather, then every day it would rain on your parade. Shine, you can't see anything, yeah. If I was Father Time, then I would change the day, so I never saw your face.
Hello. I am your host, Simo, of What's Really Going On Blog Talk Radio Show and Podcast. I am super excited that you have decided to spend your evening, afternoon, or morning, whatever time it is where you are. I'm super excited that you're excited to spend that time hanging out with me tonight. Before I get into tonight's episode, I always give a special shout out to everybody that tunes in around the globe. So without further ado, I'd like to give a special shout out to Tanzania, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Australia, New Zealand, the Philippines, China, India, Pakistan, Japan, Russia, Sweden, Norway, the United Kingdom, France, Italy, Algeria, Egypt, Sudan, Nigeria, South Africa, and Brazil, Mexico, Canada, and of course, rounding it out, the United States. So, guys, listen, I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking me out. I just want to apologize because last week I was actually in Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida, and I was supposed to re-interview Shirelle J. Jackson and her sister, Lyris D. Wallace. They are the authors of a book called Mirrored Images. And we had did an interview the week before, and for whatever reason, it came out really, really choppy. So I could not use that recording to upload to my mobile app or to just let you guys hear, period. So I ended up deleting the episode, and then I was going to interview them while I was in Universal Studios. But when I got there, the line in front of the hotel was so long, and it took me so long to get checked in. Then my internet wasn't acting right, and so they weren't able to interview with me at that time. So they are going to come back on next week and interview with me next week. And I just want to tell you, I had such an amazing time. Universal Studios, so relaxing. Everybody needs to take a break sometime. I am known to work all the time. I mean, I work just about every day doing something. And that was a very much needed break for me. And my son, he's going to school from home, of course, since the pandemic began. And so I thought it would be a nice trip for him, being that he had maintained A's and B's on his report card. Okay, so anyway, like I said, it was an amazing trip. And tonight, I just wanted to talk really briefly about something that was on my mind earlier. And I think I talked about this before. I talked about men, middle-aged men going through something, sort of like menopause in women, but like menopause in men. And I'll tell you about a couple of guys that I think I mentioned before on the show. I was dating a guy one time, and this was a couple of years back. And after about 3 months of dating, this particular guy, he started talking about marriage and stuff like that. And if you've listened to me on this show for a while, you know how I feel about marriage. You know how I feel about the living arrangement as far as marriage is concerned. And if I ever decide to get married again, I think you guys already know, because I talked before about me, how I feel about marriage. My husband is going to have to accept the fact that he won't be the only man in my life, because I probably have boyfriends. I think on TV there's a show called Sister Wives. My husband would have to be prepared to have brother husbands. But anyway, I think I talked before about this particular guy and him, and talking about the whole marriage thing and all that stuff, and he knows how I feel about that. But anyway, so long story short, the guy got married. Now, mind you, I was talking to him maybe a year or so ago, and he started talking about, I want to get married. You're the one for me. Yada yada yada. The whole spiel or whatever. But of course, like I said, I'm not interested in that. If he ain't down with me having boyfriends and all that kind of stuff, then it wouldn't work for me. If he can't live on his own property and I can't live on mine, it's not going to work. It's just not. I need my space, and I would give him his space, and we can meet up and we can date, whatever. But anyway, so he did get married. He got married maybe 2-3 months ago. He married some woman, and he reached out to me a couple weeks ago on Facebook, and he was just like, he said to me that I broke his heart, and he was asking me why wouldn't I marry him, and I said, well, first of all, I told you how about marriage, but more importantly is I didn't know him very well. I had only known him maybe 4 or 5 months before he started talking about get married or whatever. So it's just something I wasn't interested in. And then, like I said, he broke his heart. Now, mind you, this is a newlywed. He should be on his honeymoon. He should be having fun, enjoying his wife. But he reached out to me on Facebook, and he's just like, you broke my heart, and this particular guy, he was not like, he said something about I wouldn't marry him because he wasn't in great shape. He didn't have a six pack and all this kind of stuff. Now, the reason he said that to me is because I try to eat healthy. I try to eat healthy. I try to work out when I can. I always work out, but I do work out. You know what I mean? And I try to eat healthy. I try to maintain a certain weight. I try to maintain a youthful experience. I want my skin to be clear and all that kind of stuff. If I eat junk food, if I go to McDonald's all the time, if I go to Whataburger, if I don't take care of myself, so I don't ever go out and exercise, then I'm not gonna be able to maintain the look that I want to have. I'm not gonna look if I'm going to McDonald's, if I'm going to the buffet every day. That's just not me. So he would go every day. Now, he owned his own businesses. He had like maybe 3, 4, 5 businesses, right? But he would go out every day and he would eat somewhere. And then he would kind of text me or call me and say, hey, I'm at the buffet and I got my smothered pork chops and I got my this, that, and the other. And I was like, hey, that's cool. You know what you want to do. And of course, when he would come to my house, I'm eating healthy stuff. It ain't nothing like the buffet when you come to my house. It's not gonna be like that. But anyway, so he kept talking about marriage, and we were talking or whatever, and I kept saying no. So we ended up not talking anymore. Not because he stopped talking to me. I just kind of stopped texting and really replying to his calls. So he sent me the message on Facebook, and he was saying, I broke his heart, And I said, well, you know what? It all worked out because apparently you found somebody that was more in sync with what you wanted or more in line with, your lifestyle and how you treat yourself and whatever. He married. He sends me all these messages, and he's talking about I didn't marry him because of, he didn't have a six pack or, and I basically explained to him that we only had known each other for maybe 4 or 5 months. So it really didn't have anything to do with him not having a six pack or whatever. He could have weighed 300-400 pounds. If he stimulated my mind, and that's why I was talking to him. But I say that to say this: a lot of men nowadays are how it used to be a time when women were very insecure about certain things. I have come across women that are very insecure about their bodies or their job, whatever. They're just very insecure. It's like just don't make men the way they used to make them. They seem very insecure. Another friend of mine, and I don't know if it's because people are coming out of their masks and they vaccinated, so they can kind of move around freely, and they want to date and do things more. Another guy, he reached out and he was saying how he wanted to start over again. He wanted to start over, and I was like, start what over? Which what do you? Well, I think we should get together. Now this particular guy, he's married, so I'm just like, well, he's another married guy reaching out. Hey, I think we should. How can we start over when you already with somebody? So what is it that we're starting over? I get it. And I was talking to another young lady earlier today, and she was saying how the same thing. Men are just so different now, and then the way relationships are, a lot of men, they want to have their cake and eat it too, and that's fine if they want to do that. But the thing is that they will talk to you as if you don't get away or whatever, but they always want to have the others on the side and they think that we are not